Tired from working at home? Need a change of scenery? Well, maybe you should go to a nice cafe. This is my portable work setup that can handle 4K editing and all of my content creator needs, whether I'm in another country or in the local coffee shop. Before we start with the item breakdown, I just want to thank Moft for sending over these 3 accessories. But even though Moft did send me these items, I will still give my honest opinions on them later on when I do use them. But with that said, I actually use Moft even before I was in their radar, so it's a nice full circle moment. Starting off with the tech, I have the Macbook M1 Pro Max in 32GB of RAM. Definitely a very reliable piece of tech, and even though it's about 3-4 years old now, I still use it, no problems whatsoever. Next, I have my iPad Mini 6 and 256GB of storage. This will mostly be my secondary screen or something I read my script off. The form factor is just so perfect for my lifestyle, but I do see bringing around an iPad Air or an iPad Pro as your bigger secondary screen, especially with a better refresh rate. I also have the iPhone 14 Pro. It is handy for me when I have to put stuff on my socials. I can easily airdrop it from my MacBook or iPad Mini 6. So down to the accessories, and now this is where we elevate our setup to make it as frictionless as possible, and that is with the help of Moft. First is their laptop carry sleeve that not only protects your laptop in a light and durable material, but also acts as a stand that gives you 2 angles, one that is at 15 degrees and one at 25 degrees. It has a divider in the middle so your tech won't scratch one another. And it also has a mesh side so you can store bulkier items like chargers without affecting the other side. When you're using it as a stand, there's a tab on the bottom to stop the laptop from slipping. The quality of the material is definitely very premium, and it shows here in this laptop carry sleeve. Never knew I needed it until I had it. The only thing is the sides are exposed. There's really not much padding, so keep that in mind. Second is the iPad Folio for my Mini 6. This is the origami float folio, and it raises the iPad to eye level, the only folio to do so. Handy for when I use my sidecar feature with the Mac. Apart from the floating mode, it also comes in the focus mode and the 80-degree angle. The iPad Mini 6 and Snap Float Folio is a really good combination to keep things very light and small. I intentionally got the light gray color to test out if this float folio attracts dirt. And so far, after heavy use, no dirt detected whatsoever. One thing I did notice when I was using this setup is that the iPad Folio was not as secured as I'd hoped for. Take a look at this. The top part of the case is strong. You can see that here are the magnets, but when you go to the bottom part, this area has no magnets. Even though that my iPad Mini 6 does have the magnets, it's not strong enough for a secure hold. But yeah, this is just for the iPad Mini 6 Folio case, so I'm not quite sure about the other iPad cases if you experience this too. There is a solution if you have the bigger iPad Air or iPad Pro. Moft has a snap case that you can pair up with a Snap Float Folio. I just wish in the future that they offer this for the iPad Mini 6 as well. Third is the Moft Invisible Tripod with the Snap Phone case. You can angle this in so many different ways, and here are a couple of my favorites. It's really up to you and your imagination how you want to do this. Up next is the Uni 8-in-1 USB-C hub. I have been using this everywhere. It is very reliable and it doesn't run too hot. And plus, if you drop it, the protective case will definitely help you out. I also love the feature that you can remove the cable, which I think most USB-C hubs should have at this point. Because usually when you have a USB hub, the breaking point will most likely be the wire. And so the fact that you can interchange that every single time is just so nice. So I have the Logitech Pro Superlight, and it does what it says as advertised. It is super duper light. Next up will be the Apple AirPods Pro Gen 1 and the Soundcore Q30. So I usually use this as a combo because sometimes the AirPods kind of die out on me. The battery life is not too good. So I use the Soundcore if that dies, or if I need double noise cancellation. Then I have the Samsung T9 SSD for faster transfer speeds. I mean, when I'm dealing with 4K footage with 10-bit 422, it's just a no-brainer to have the fastest SSD. So I do have it in 2 TB, but it gets expensive. So I'm planning on using enclosures instead and buy a separate SSD. So next up, we have the Ugreen 100-watt adapter. It has 2 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A. And then I like how you can fold the prongs inside to even maximize the storage. I have the Insta360 Go 3 just in case I don't bring my big boy cameras, and this is such a good camera to bring with you everywhere to get really interesting POV shots. And now all of this goes inside the Evergood Silver Access 2-liter pouch. What I love about it, it's perfect for table use. It stands up because it is a stiff material. All right, for my power banks, I have the M-Chaos 10,000 milliamp hour power bank. I'm testing this one out. It has a retractable USB-C cable, but you also have a choice of making it into a lightning cable instead. The form factor of it is pretty cool because you can hook it up in a carabiner. I wish that all power banks can do something like this. And then for my smaller power bank that will most likely just charge my phone, I do have the Anker 622. And it is MagSafe, and it also folds into a stand. And at this point, I would prefer to bring 2 power banks because I don't have like a huge 20,000 milliamp hour, which I do want to have in the future. Next up is the Astrid leather mousepad, and I did emboss my initials here. Beef Mame. We have the water drop 20-ounce water bottle. I need to always bring a water bottle with me. Hydration check. Drink your water. As for camera gear, I have the FX30, which I am using right now with the 11mm with the 11mm 1.8 from Sony. It's beautiful, it's nice, it's crispy. It's wide angle. I don't have to struggle with my 16mm, and it's heavy. This one is light as heck, so perfect for vloggers like myself. I also have the Joby tripod, and I have the first version of the DJI mic. The bags that I'll be bringing will be the 511 Rush 12 2.0, and it's my first time using this. And for my next bag, I do have the Hex DSLR sling. I thought that it wasn't really my style because it's too tactical looking, but I see the beauty of it. I just really like the modularity of the setup. All right, it's time to go visit some coffee shops.
The rain got even worse. At least we have a big boy right here. But we're finally here in my car. The rain is really freaking bad. This was the right call to use this bag. Oh. Ho-ho! That was yeah. Alright, we're here. So throughout the week, I have been using this setup in different types of cafes, and yes, this is the last one that we ended up in. This is Taza Coffee. I wanted to use the different types of layouts that you can have this in, whether it be a huge table like this one, or a smaller table. But you know, coffee shops nowadays have very small tables. Case in point. One more thing though, I feel like a low-profile keyboard would be nice in this particular setup for sure. So right now I am using the 15-degree angle for this Moft laptop sleeve, but it's nice. I am using the keyboard on my MacBook, but if I really do want a more comfortable typing experience, I'd put this up to 25 degrees and have like a Newfie low-profile keyboard. I was so content with this. I was so happy with this. And then this came along. And then I was like, I love this so much, but I do miss having like cards behind. I'm trying so hard not to buy that one. I'm trying so hard. I'm stopping myself. So I already have two of these. It's time to go back. This coffee's doing its magic in my tummy.